Hello everyone, welcome to this video. I'm Francisco. Um, and today I'm gonna do a little bit of a different thing. As you may know, if you probably already seen in my background here, I am not a major collector, but I have a small collection of vinyl. It's something that I caught. It's a hobby that I caught like a few years ago when I started to buy my turntable, and I found a store. I First of all, I found it like kind of ridiculous before the whole vinyl subculture, because why if you have streaming? But I had this friend of mine who told me that this store here in South Florida was closing and there were like very good prices. So I went to actually look for these speakers that I have in the background and the amplifier, which is a streaming amplifier as well. But then I saw the turntable and I was like, let me just get it. And it's not this one; it was another one, and I was like, let me just get it. And yeah, next thing I know, I'm a big fan. I love it. So I got into the hobby, and I have a small collection of around 150 or 200 vinyl. Not a lot. I'm very selective in what I buy. I don't buy like everything I consume in music. But today I wanted to share some soundtracks that I do own. And it's weird because I haven't really done video game music on vinyl. So I'm not gonna be share most of my soundtracks here that I have here on the top of my keyboard are not necessarily are not video game soundtracks. So that's the only thing that is it doesn't really align to the channel. But hey, I still wanted to share the soundtracks because I do love these. So let me get into these real quick, and I'm trying to do this in one take because I don't have time to edit. And I didn't have time this weekend to make the videos that I post every week, so I'm trying to do this as fast as possible. So I apologize for the informality. It's just that I'm working and I can't. I'm trying to do this in one take. So this is my only video game soundtrack on vinyl that I have, and is the Nier Automata's Japanese edition of the soundtrack. Um, it's it. I want to say. I mean, first of all, Nier Automata and Nier Automata's soundtrack are my favorite video game. Everything of all time. Like Nier Automata is my favorite all-time favorite video game, and the soundtrack is my all-time favorite soundtrack. Not only in video game, but of everything. Um, but I did get this edition from, I want to say, Square Enix, and it was quite expensive. I mean, not very expensive. I think it was like $100, and I mean it's great. It's Nier Automata, it's one of the greatest soundtracks ever. My only disappointment is that really doesn't have the entire. I don't know if you can see there, but it doesn't have the entire soundtrack per se. What happened with the camera? Why did it start doing that? Okay, so it doesn't have all of the songs. It only has 16 songs, and so some of them are not here. My favorite track of the entire soundtrack is not here. It's not actually in the original release. It came out in a second release that Square Enix did of songs that are not, let's let's say, unedited songs, and it's Become as Gods. It's not here. But hey, um Nier Automata's, I mean, I will probably make a video only on this soundtrack because I have lots of things to say about it. So please remember to subscribe, and so you can watch it whenever I do it. The second one, now we're getting into movies more than anything. Um, Not more than anything. I think it's everything is movies here. So yeah, this one is one that I own, Interstellar, and I have mixed feelings about this is one of the greatest things of vinyl is look at this thing. I mean, you really get art, you know. This is one of the things that I really like about vinyl. Anyways, yeah, this is kind of a cliche or um an interstellar soundtrack. It's also become a meme. Uh, the song, the music of it, but I do think that yeah, this is one of my favorite movies of all time too. My favorite Christopher Nolan movie. I'm not like a you know like a crazy fan of Chris Nolan. Not necessarily, but I do love this movie, and the music of this movie is so great, so simple at the same time, but it's so amazing. Um, Another disappointment is that for me the best my favorite track of this soundtrack isn't included in the vinyl edition. I have no clue why, and it's Mountains. That's basic. Like when I bought this, the very first thing I wanted to do is sit down in front of my system and listen to that with my eyes closed to Mountains. And that couldn't happen. Couldn't happen because it's not included here. So, but that's another vinyl that I own. A classic, the Godfather soundtrack. Look how beautiful this is. This is just amazing, and only for this, it's worth owning, in my opinion. Um, but yeah, one of the most iconic uh movie soundtracks ever. Um, it's a master it's a master class on something that's memorable, iconic, symbolic, such a simple composition as well. I mean, the main Godfather theme, I want to say. But you know, the Godfather waltz. It's such an amazing soundtrack and music. One very good one for me is The Crow. And this is interesting because it's not necessarily like a score. Like the other ones, most of them are scores, but this is back in the days when soundtracks were just a collection of music, B-side songs that the artist had. Maybe they recorded and make it to the cut for an album, and they had it um the um the record label had those songs, and the band had those songs already recorded and such, and so they kept making money out of those songs by including them in soundtracks like this one. But this one has great songs by it has Dead Souls by Nine Inch Nails, which is one of my favorites. Burn by The Cure, amazing song. It has The Big Empty, Stone Temple Pilots. Was never a big fan of Stone Temple Pilots, but that song I really like. Helmet Milk Toast, which was included in their albums, but it's here. The Badge by Pantera. I mean, it has some really gems here in this soundtrack. One classic that my brother gave me as birthday gift, a Little Shop of Horror. It's a 80s musical, and probably you can recognize the little plant there. I don't remember the name. It's been a while since I saw this movie, but here's the art. Eat me. So it's the soundtrack of that movie. Very good. One that I'm not a big fan of this franchise, which some of you are gonna kill me, but for saying that, but I just gotta say it. I couldn't care less. However, the music for me is just incredible, and it's Star Wars. In this case, it's the Rise of Skywalker, which is one of the most recent movies. But still has the John Williams and the John Williams music. and I really, really, really like the Star Wars music. That's the only thing I really like. I mean, I enjoy the movies, but I'm not a big fan. I couldn't care less about the. But John Williams, I mean, you just gotta have it. So I really enjoy the soundtrack. It's weird sometimes. That happens to me also with Bloodborne. It's one of my favorite video game soundtracks ever, and I don't play the game. I didn't play the game. I don't have the patience for the game. But the soundtrack I always listen to. So Edward Scissorhand, and this is a very, I would like to get like a better edition of this one. But Edward Scissorhands, this movie, this and the next one are the main movies that drove me, like made me appreciate music and movies and entertainment medium and video games and such. This soundtrack, and actually Danny Elfman in particular was the, you know, for a very long time Danny Elfman was and is in my top, but it was like my reference for soundtracks. When I started listening to soundtracks and research, like looking for them in MP3s, I don't want to say any platforms, but it was looking for Danny Elfman soundtracks because of this soundtracks in particular, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. But this soundtrack in particular, like I remember when I was a kid and watching this movie and the music that with that very kind of like steampunkish music, I was very attracted to, and that love for that kind of music and that soundtracks was born out of Edward Scissorhands, watching Edward Scissorhands. And I want to say the next one because, and I haven't even opened this one. This one is brand new. I just got it a few weeks ago from Whatnot. If you don't know Whatnot, it's kind of a platform of people who sell stuff, and and you can bid and whatever. So I always, I tend to go get in when I'm doing cardio in the gym. I'm watching someone selling stuff, and I got it. It says Urban Outfitters exclusive. I don't know. Haven't opened it yet. Still have to listen to it. But again, one of the classics, Danny Elfman too. With Tim Burton as well, which Edward Scissorhands. It's also a Tim Burton movie. They've been collaborating for many years, and this is just a classic. This became one of the weirdly enough, it became one of the soundtracks for Christmas and for either for Christmas or for Halloween. It's kind of in those months, and this one does have the entire soundtrack in it. So I'm looking forward to sitting and listening to it as soon as possible. Actually, somehow I forgot I got this one. When I was looking for the vinyl to do this video, I was like, "Oh shoot, I did buy this one." So I gotta sit and listen to that. And that's it. Those are the soundtracks that I own. Again, not very huge collection and not video games. I'm trying to start buying video games. The thing is that I like going to the stores instead of buying online when I purchase vinyl. And when I go to the stores here in South Florida, they have they're decent, but they don't have a lot of soundtracks, video game soundtrack stuff. They mostly have like movies and mostly classic movies, and not a lot. They don't have video game. So I don't tend to buy a lot, and the only place where I buy like I'm constantly buying online, and it's not that much either. Is Whatnot, that platform that I just mentioned. And it they don't. I never come across video game soundtracks there vinyl. And then they have like a category that's video games, and they don't do music. They just do like video games and hardware and stuff. So yeah, I'm looking into starting to purchase a little bit more, to buy more vinyl, video game vinyl. Thing is that they're also very expensive. Like if I look for the Bloodborne that I was mentioning, it's you find it like for over $100, $200, because it's not being released anymore. So people who have them just sell them for a high price, and then mostly you get some other video game soundtracks also, and they're kind of pricey for some reason. Like the Nier Automata that I showed you, it was like 90 to $100. Whereas the average price for a vinyl, if it's a single vinyl, it would be around $20, and if it's a double LP, it would be around maybe the 30s, between 25 and 35, I want to say. And then you get the video game soundtracks, which are $50 and over. And that sometimes not. I mean, you can go to Amazon and find decent prices. I think I saw the Doom vinyl for $40, but again, it's kind of pricey. It's a little bit pricier, and some of those who were or had limited prints, like the Bloodborne one, it's just like $200, $250 for it. It's a little pricey for me. So I'm gonna leave it at that. That's my vinyl collection, soundtrack vinyl collection. I'm gonna continue as I go buying more vinyl, whether it's just soundtracks for movies, shows, or video games. I'm gonna be sharing here. So don't forget to subscribe, to hit the like button, hit that notification bell for whenever I post a video, you get a notification and you don't miss it. And yeah, I think I mentioned something at the beginning of the video for a reason to subscribe. But again, just subscribe and hit the notification bell. That will help a lot. So that's it. See you in the next video. Peace.